Late last week, Donald Trump Jr. sat down to interview J.D. Vance, who of course is his father's running mate, Republican senator from Ohio. But even though Vance was the one who was being interviewed, he's the one who's running for public office, it was Don Jr. who did most of the talking. And people on the internet are speculating that it's not because Jr. just had so much to say. They believe it's because Jr. was clearly on something during this interview. And here is a clip. I'm going to show you this. It was put out there on the internet by Ron Filipkowski. And Filipkowski said this when he posted the video on social media. He said, Jr. was absolutely out of his mind interviewing J.D. Vance. I did not speed this up. So with that, here is a sampling of Donald Trump Jr.'s bizarre behavior during the interview. Take a look.
Like, there's some of them are like, we don't even want white women. Like, it doesn't, like, we need to check like 3 or 4 boxes so you can end up in, like, if you're like, you know, a trans communist, this, that, and the other, like, you too can be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company with no experience whatsoever. He's actually spent real time with them. Like, and he's sort of, I would say he's the blue-collar billionaire. And 15 years ago when I said it, people used to shit all over me. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't understand. And now they understand. What the borders are, wrote the article. It wasn't even like it was the same publication. It was the same journalist. I'm like, this you? Like, to literally save democracy, because it's literally at risk, JD. That's why I keep hearing.
Now, as per usual, I'm not saying that Donald Trump Jr. is on drugs. But what I am saying is if you've been around people that are on certain drugs, that is exactly how they behave. And for the record, I'm not the only one who thinks that. The internet lit up when this clip was released, and it's not because of the content. It is, of course, because they're now speculating that Jr. was definitely on something. Here's some of the responses to the video posted by Filipkowski. One of them said, resting heart rate of 346. Another said, this is what happens when cocaine interviews J.D. Vance. Another said, when your cocaine is on crack and Red Bull. Another hilariously posted, with great powder comes great responsibility. And then, of course, this one that I think is probably the most powerful. As a recovering addict and someone familiar with this state of mind, hear me when I say he hasn't slept in days. That crash is going to be rough when it hits. Now, the reason I'm even talking about this is because Donald Trump and pretty much everybody on the Republican side has spent the last 3.5 years, 4 years, maybe even a little longer, trashing President Biden's son Hunter for being a recovering drug addict, right? They use that all the time. They talk about Hunter Biden's on drugs. Hunter Biden's on drugs. Have you ever seen a video of Hunter Biden where he looks like Donald Trump Jr. looked in that clip I just showed you? No. I mean, maybe if you're one of the people that has access to his laptop, I don't know. But there's something wrong, because that is not, by the way, Donald Trump Jr.'s normal behavior. Now, it is very common for him to be like that, sure. But we've also seen other interviews where he is subdued, where he's not talking 90 miles an hour. Like, he doesn't always do that, but he sometimes, frequently does it. Which would, of course, be indicative of somebody who is on something, and sometimes they're not. So, again, I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he isn't. But something's up with that, and I think we need to focus on this. If they're going to make Hunter Biden an issue for President Biden, let's make Jr. an issue for Donald. I mean, you can't look at that clip and think that that is how a normal person is supposed to be behaving, because it's not. I mean, I almost feel sorry for J.D. Vance there, because he was just having to sit there sheepishly, awkwardly, you know, listening to this man who may or may not be on something, like, yell at him, unable to get a word in edgewise. It was insane. And honestly, these are the kind of clips that the Harris campaign, maybe start putting these out there. Maybe show people exactly what's going on with the Trump family, since they've been trying to do the same thing to the Biden family for many years now. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for us. I say run the clip. Hi, everyone. This here is little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.